Okay, here's a look at Studio Series 86 Brawn. And so here's just a quick look at the figure. Really nice looking figure. So now, first as always, let's just take a quick look at the box. We have a really nice artwork there of Brawn. The back, you have your typical product images and the display stand. Side of the box, you get that same artwork and the cool Autobot symbol thing there. And then the other side, the artwork, Studio Series 86. Top of the box, it's from Transformers the movie, before he died, bottom words and stuff. So that's a look at the box. And now the figure. And the only accessory it comes with is just his handgun. And I'm just gonna assume that's cartoon accurate because I don't know, but you could see it's a nicely sculpted gun. And then, as always, let's just take a look at the instructions. So typical new style instructions with the artwork there. And then here you could see the accessory, just the gun goes in his hand. And then the transformation steps. This is actually really fun, very intuitive, easy figure to transform. And that's because this is a mainline retail figure, so it should be. So you could see not too hard. So that's a look at that. And now let's come up closer here, take a look at the figure. And first of all, you know, all their figures now, they are making it so that it does look a little bit more like the cartoon. But when you take a closer look, you see all these extra sculpted detail, which, you know, I'm telling you is like the old masterpiece style, because it's the same thing. They look more like the cartoon, but they have all this extra sculpted in detail that's not in the cartoon, but it does make the figure look really nice. And so I do like that. But you know, I do have some issues with this figure in terms of the way that it was sculpted and painted or not painted, because it's not as cartoon accurate as I think it could have been. So with that said, let's compare this with the animation model so we can see. And you know, some of my criticism, you know, I've already seen and heard other reviewers point out the same thing, such as like his whole waist area, you know, and they're saying you can kind of get away with it with his green piece. I suppose you can, but then you're missing that gray triangle, and then the shape of the hips are off. It's not like angled up, it's just kind of like a rectangular shape. But you know, they did do a nice job with like the paint. So you could see that nice blue, baby blue color paint, which is really nice. And even the back view, I think looks pretty nice. So overall, for a mainline retail figure, I think they did a really nice job on this. So now let's take a closer look at this head, because I think they did a really nice job on this head sculpt. Really nice. Just look at that. Yeah, I think they did a really nice job on the sculpt of this head. So yeah, I even though I have some complaints, I still really like this figure for what it is, mainline retail. This is, again, not a masterpiece. If this was a masterpiece, then I would complain a lot more about these things, but it's not. And yeah, for what it is, mainline retail figure, it's really nice. So in terms of articulation, the head is just swivels, you know, left and right, and it is tight because of the you know, because of the tolerance there. And then if you really want to turn it, you have to mistransform it. And then the shoulders, ball joint, so it can go out to the side, front and back, all around. You do get bicep swivel, elbow joint, and then you can turn the hand in like that if you want, and it gives a little extra articulation. You do get waist swivel, but no ab crunch. And then universals here, so it can go forward, back, out to the side. You do get thigh rotation, you do get a knee bend, and this is kind of cool. You do get an ankle rocker. And well, actually I thought you could get a little bit toe tilt up and down, but not really. But for mainline retail figure, yeah, that's a good amount of articulation. So I think this, let me see, I think I had to, yeah, let's transform it back correctly there. I think for mainline retail figure, I think they did a really nice job on this figure. So now let's just compare this with some other figures. Okay, so first let's compare this with the previous version. I believe this is the Titan's Return by Hasbro. And yeah, well, first of all, my complaints. I don't like the green color, which is not very cartoon accurate. But I will defend Hasbro by saying, you know, that's where this particular, some of their figures, they base it off the original toy. So that's why you could see it has like the black windows and the darker color green. So here he is also with the Precious, the G1. And before the Takata Hasbro merge that Hasbro wanted, so Takata doesn't take all the sales away from them, here is the Takata version of what is this, Titan's Return or Generations or something. So you could see the color green, first of all, is nice, and then you could see the metallic blue painted windows and the painted rims and stuff. So you could see why Takata was taking all the sales, and you could see why Hasbro demanded the merge. So now all the figures are the same. But anyways, here's just a comparison with that. And let's get these two guys out of the way, because this is the comparison I wanted to show you. He is the new deluxe size, and he is bigger, and I still hold my position that I think these legend scale much better with this collection of your War for Cybertron, Legacy Studio Series, whatever you call it. Basically, I call it the new Chug. So yeah, that's just letting you know. And speaking of Chug, there was the Chug version. So this one here is by iGear, and you could see back in the day, this was pretty good. So this, back in the day, the Chug was meant to resemble the character, which it clearly does. You could see the green, the yellow, really nice. But they did put in their own style and aesthetics to it. So, you know, this has a lot more detail that's not in the cartoon. But it definitely represents Brawn really well. And to be fair, it does have like the repro label, so you get like that little detail on his abs that you're missing here, and the nice windows even on the back. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. So now let's compare him with some of his other buddies. Okay, so here he is next to his buddy Huffer. And for mainline retail figure, the new deluxe size, he does scale really nice. And can I say here, I mean, the style, the design, they're consistent, where, you know, it's not perfect. I mean, these are more cartoon accurate than their previous versions, and little nitpicky things I don't like, such as this gray toes here, and you know, the not so light blue legs and waist and stuff. But anyways, I don't want to start digressing and rambling, but here you could see with that. And then we could bring in the other season 1. I'm not going to bring out the season 2 Cosmos, Beachcomber, Warpath, because this is about the season 1. And here you could see, here he is with Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. And this one, they don't scale very well. Well, I guess this scales pretty good, but in terms of the aesthetics, they definitely don't mesh. And that's because this is not a Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. This is the War for Cybertron Bumblebee. So that's why it looks totally different. And I'm letting you know that's why I think we are going to be getting a lot more Studio Series 86 figures. So hopefully we'll get a new Brawn, maybe even a Huffer with blue on his legs and stuff. And it's interesting because this is the Studio Series 86 Cliff Jumper, and all they did is really basically just give you this blue. I mean, they did fix, you know, like the shoulders and the gray to be more cartoon accurate. So I don't know, there's maybe a little bit of some question marks in terms of if we're going to get more Studio Series. But that's a look at the comparison with the other figures. So now let's transform this into the alt mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at Brawn in his alt mode, and as you can see, this is a really nice looking figure. Nicely sculpted in, all that detail, all this nice baby blue, but it's not perfect, as you can see. Typical mainline retail, missing some red tail lights back there, but I think they did a nice job on these wheels too. They look symmetrical, but yeah, the roll is really nice. Transformation of this is easy and fun, again, because this is a mainline retail figure. So I'm actually happy with it. And the gun, if you want, you could put it up, store it up here if you want, which is kind of cool. So now let's do this real quick. Let's compare this with the animation model. So you can see, I think they did a nice job here capturing the cartoon aesthetics in the alt mode. The shape, colors and stuff, really nice. But the back, yeah, I will criticize this because they easily could paint that window blue, but they didn't. But they did sculpt it in. So I wonder if Repro Labels or Toy Hacks is going to do something. And yeah, that would be nice if they did. But now let's just compare this with the other versions. So here is the ugly Hasbro version with the, when I say ugly, I'm referring to this green that's not cartoon accurate, and the Takata Legends version. So let's get this guy out of the way. You could see, yeah, this is actually really nice. And in my opinion, with your collection, War for Cybertron, Legacy, Studio Series, or you know, the new Chug that I call it, this actually still scales better in my opinion. So yeah, here's a look at that. And then there is the Chug version. So you could see here, this one by iGear, for its time, yeah, I think this was really cool. I think this was one of the cool Chug figures. And of course, this does have the nice Repro Label sticker. So just giving you a comparison here so you could see even the old Chug figures look really nice. And then last, of course, we have your G1, or your Precious, if you want to call it. And yeah, I mean, this is yeah, your typical G1, the colors off, the window colors off and stuff like that. So that would explain why Hasbro's version is this dark green. But anyways, that's a look at the alt mode. And yeah, for what it is, mainline retail, I think this is a really nice figure. So now let's transfer it back to robot mode and have our final thoughts. Okay, my final thoughts on this figure. for what it is, being a mainline retail figure, this is actually a really nice figure. They did a nice job on the sculpt, the paint, the color. It's not perfect, but you know, I can argue that's because this is not a masterpiece. So little nitpicky things here and there that's not cartoon accurate is totally understandable. The most important thing is the form and function in terms of product design, and I think they did a really nice job. I mean, good amount of articulation, the transformation is easy, it's fun, and yeah, so that's their target, is the kid. So it is fun, it looks good. So I think this is another really well done figure. People are complaining about like the tolerance and stuff, and you know that, no, I'm not going to get all into it. I'm just going to say no, not really. I mean, it's a mainline retail figure, and you know, things are just going to be made that way. I mean, if it was really bad issues anywhere, I obviously would point it out, but there are no significant major issues. So with that said, my final thoughts on this figure, for what it is, a mainline retail figure, I actually think this is a really nice figure, and I do like it. So, and I don't give recommendations, because if you really want something, you're going to get it. But if you're just wondering, you know, if I recommend this, yes, I definitely recommend this. This is a really nice figure to have and add to your collection for the new Chug. The War for Cybertron, Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom, Legacy, Evolution, and Studio Series. So that's it. That's my review for the Studio Series 86 Brawn.
Just what I always wanted. Let's see how Megatron likes a dose of his own medicine. Now that was a kick.